Good afternoon, diecast people from around the world. This is Sol coming at you with part 2 of the crazy Johnny Roman packing case full of gifts for me. Now those of you that are familiar with Johnny's work knows that he usually has a crowd watching his racing or his reviews, and I don't know whether he saw Diecast Dude's tree that he sent me, but some of these would fit in nice with that. But he's gone and sent me some people or some characters. Remember this? So we'll start off with a little bit of the crowd and pick out some of my favourites, or some of the well-known ones. So excuse me while these go into a box for safekeeping for now. Got 2 Neanderthal cavemen there, or tribal cavemen. Oh, I think the camera's a bit too busy on the background there. There we go. So we've got two cavemen there, in a rage by the looks of it. We've got, if I pan you over this way, we've got an absolute gaggle of various figures in there. I mean, oof, crikey. Looks like we've got a sea captain that wants painting. We've got a deckhand sweeping up. These are all for painting, I guess. I used to do figure painting. Got a soldier there with a bent stick grenade. So there we go. And then from his same company, it looks like we got a man who's in a pose of either waving happily to somebody, or he's just been shot and he's falling back like that. Just put these in the box. We've got, looks like a guy hosing down. Could be wrong. That's what it looks like to my eyes. We've got a rather nice fireman with his protective hood on there. Or is it a spaceman fending off an alien invasion? And then finally in that little part we have actually got, it looks like an American footballer helmet, but then when you realise it's actually a spaceman look. Very nice. And then we come to my favourites just quickly, because I know we're diecast enthusiasts here. So we all know Woody from Toy Story, an all-round good guy who's always compelled to do the right thing. That's a little detail of his drawstring on the back there. But yeah, that's a charming little figure. Ooh, coming to get Dyson. Ooh. Count Dracula, with eyes that really resemble mine at the minute. I don't know whether you got this in America. I guess you must have done, or maybe not, because this figure has come from America. And this is Roland Rat, or his friend Kevin, I think. There he is. But yeah, that looks like Roland Rat to me. It was a big phenomenon in England. English character. Roger Rabbit singing a song by the looks of it. I wonder if he's trying to woo Jessica Rabbit. I'd like to woo Jessica Rabbit. On this side, we've got the character from Robots with the greatest name ever, Bender. I don't know if that means anything in America, but it does here. But yeah, love Robots, the movie. And there's the lead character Bender. We'll just spin around here. Got the Batman. Yeah, nice action pose. Nice cloak on the back. Oh. Can we just see there in that light, look? Made for Mickey D. Charlie Brown. He's a clown. Now this one used to, well, there's the speaker in the back of his head, which is a bit macabre. But yeah, this one, the battery's gone, but I noticed there's a little screw there. So I'm going to take that apart, change the battery and see what Charlie's got to say for himself. Probably good grief. Captain James Tiberius Kirk. I'm an absolute sci-fi nut. And the Star Trek Empire and the Star Wars Empire has been there for the longest time in my life. Right back from the 70s. Well, I mean, 67 was the year that Star Trek Universe was born, and so was I. But yeah, they run the original series for a second time in England after it was a flop the first time. So we had the original series all through the 70s and then the Next Generation and all the other spin-offs. But he is connected, he is wired, and he says, Cake to Enterprise. So there's a fun big head. And then I'm saving my favourite to last. Victor from Wheels Up. He's a cookie monster. You're a cookie monster. I'm a cookie monster. This is how me and Victor like to view all your videos, with some cookies and some milk for me. But yeah, Victor loves his cookies, so here's Cookie Monster. So, that's all but one figure out the way. So let's do some die cast, and let's do some really good die cast. Some older stuff first. We'll just get this out of the way. Johnny said there'd be some play-worn stuff in there, and he wasn't lying. So we got a variation of a stock car, Valvoline. So somebody's obviously done this under license. It's not one of them made in China no names. Can't be. Let's have a look. I think my eyes are a bit too small. The writing's a bit too small for me. Let me see. I can see it's made in Korea. That's most unusual. Airtel. And obviously there's a number there, so I'm assuming it was one of a limited run. An old one. But its play one condition appeals to me. Got a generic stock car. It's actually very heavy, good tyres, and I'm just looking at the base. It's an Hot Wheel, and again, I'm not revealing the top until we say made for. You do it this time, Johnny. I only like one to show. That's your bit of thunder. Interesting steel blanked out windows there. But yeah, number 94, which, as I know now from my exploits the other day, 94 is McDonald's number. And this is a giveaway for one of their cars. We have got Sports Fun Sunny Car Track. Now this one, this does look like a made in China and probably a no name. And there we go. A no name. A cheapy DP. I think that's right, isn't it, Johnny? I think we know who makes this one because it's got its name on the side. Maisto 07, that's a big clue. And in fact, there it is, Maisto, and this is a Chevrolet Monte Cristo. Now, I can honestly say this is my first ever Monte Cristo. And because of that, I'm going to keep it in its play one patina. It'd be wrong to change that, I don't think. I've never had one of them before. Got a right old one that's been on the bank circuits to the stock car racing track to the banger racing. He is poorly beaten up. And that's a shame because this is a real heavy metal on metal casting. And there you can see that that's a Hot Wheels front running, a Fairmont. And I think, given the style on this, I think this deserves a full restoration, you know. Make it look classy, something in a black, a bronze, a gold, a metallic, so we can make it look like a street car. That's a beautiful casting. It is so heavy, and I'd like to see that sing to all its glory. Put some detail in. I'd be happy to do that. I'm whizzing through these because I've got loads to show. Wheels, interesting, flared. Almost looks like the axles are too big. Again, that colour scheme, pink glass. Is this one Trixie put in for me, Johnny? But it is indeed a Hot Wheels. And it's a Thunder burner, so it's a fantasy casting. Don't know what to say about that. I think that's going to have to be a strip and refurb. That pink interior and pink bumpers has got to go. I think maybe a new set of wheels, or we'll, yeah, need some pizza cutters on there. It just doesn't look right. It sits wrong with these. Yeah, I get flared wheels if you got flared wheel arches, but this hasn't, and it just, where you can see how badly they're protruding look. So I think that's a resto or a custom or something like that. All the same thing to me. This is an interesting one. I'm liking this one for a fantasy. I assume it's a fantasy. Is it one of these there funny cars? Leeway Racing. Could be real. Got some nice sponsorships on the side there. Not much in the way of detail at the back. Tampos repeated. Plain on top. No glass in this one. I wonder. Metal base. So it's got some age to it. We'll turn that into focus hopefully for you. And it is indeed an Hot Wheels, and that's a maximum leeway. So that is a fantasy casting, but I like that. It's a nice clean piece. We'll keep that as it is. Oh, getting some nice stuff now. The stuff that really appeals to me. Now, this looks like a 32 Ford to me. I'm sure my good mate Fordy, the Fordman, 57 Fordman, will put me right on this. But this, there's die cast there, but the body's plastic, the wheels are plastic. So that's a bit of an unusual configuration, heavy, because this is all metal. There, this engine block and grille and the pipes. So all the metal's gone into the engine. But it's nice. I think just a light wash and a polish, and I think that'll sing again. Hot Wheels. Doesn't say what it is. It's just made in China. But yeah, I like that. I've got a place for that in the case of 32s. Look at the length of that, she cried. That's a beautiful Dodge Super B, I think. I think it's a Super B because the tail fin is usually more upright and square. I don't think it's tapered so much. But this is a beautiful weighty example. This is ever so weighty. And this will go in my long castings case, of which I've still got to show you. And let's see what we can find out. Racing Champions. But it doesn't say what model it is, so I'm saying Super B. Failing that, a Daytona, but all I do know is that's beautiful. And very weighty. And a good casting from Racing Champions. And then the last of the loose cars, I guess, is the better word. I absolutely love this. I think, given that shape, and I'm learning them as I go, I think this is a Galaxie. I think this is a Ford Galaxie. Well, there's Ford, so it's definitely a Ford. But that shape, number 64, lovely sparkles in the paintwork there if you're picking that up. What do you reckon, Mike Dyson? 40? I'm going to say a Galaxie. I've got one or two, and this lump on the engine gives it away a little bit, and that little flared suggestion of a spoiler. Let's have a look. Yeah, custom 64 Galaxie. Just on the bottom there, near me thumb. Not this one. Yeah, that is a beautiful casting. Really, really nice. And so, I don't know whether to crack this one or not. I think I'm going to save it because it's from the turn of the year. And so we've got Hot Wheels 2020. Happy New Year. If only we knew back then. Well, what can you do about it? And there we have got the Carbonator, which I wouldn't normally collect. But there it is in the shape of a celebration bottle with Happy New Year 2020 emblazoned across the cockpit entry there. But the main reason is that that is a beautiful bottle opener. And that'd be a conversation piece at any party if you pull that out for popping beers. But yeah, it's a nice piece, but it's a functional piece. But I think, given the subject matter, I think I might keep that carded as a little treasure and a little reminder to start one of the worst years ever. So, let's bring this down a little bit. Like so, and we'll bring in there we go. Trop Arctic Phillips 66. That refinery is on my doorstep. Let's take that off if we can. Yeah, there we go. So we got a rig, and it looks to be in 1/64 scale. I think you get a couple of cars in the back of there. So we've got drop down tail door. This one looks like it's got some age on it. I do like the shape of the trailer. So like I say, we've got Kanoko, well, we call it Kanoko Phillips here. Phillips 66 refinery, not 10 mile away from me. Big employer in the area. Motorsports, Trop Arctic, motor oil. So I guess that's something over in America. I've not heard of that make. Pontiac there, so probably the racing cars is Pontiac. Pontiac, we build excitement. Just nice tempo work. I think it's done classily. Got the rig that goes with it, and there's the same motorsport. This is all metal. This is heavy. It's heavy. Big Charlie, what do you think that is? I'm gonna say a more modern looking Kenworth. And there's that sleeper pod lock with the upstairs windows to look out, ventilation. It's a very nice piece. Have we got any info? Yes, Racing Champions. That'll explain the class. Racing Champions on there and made in China, but not. He just clicks in there like that. Let's put it back a bit. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And that fits in with the NASCARs, doesn't it? So I could even do me Plano case cutout and have that on display in a NASCAR case, of which I've got two full cases of NASCAR, which is absolutely dreamy for me, and one or two other ones to start another one off. But that's no race now. But yeah, I like this. Thank you, Johnny Rowan. And then the reason I have kept a long shot is that we'll go to these. Let me see if I can actually pan out a little bit. No. Oh, yeah, just a little. That's just enough to... Oh, can I do it a little more? There we go. There we go. That is a rig. It is substantial. There's my hand in comparison. So we're talking big piece. In fact, we'll just fetch this. We'll just fetch this little Racing Champions back. I say little because it certainly fits in with 164. There we go. That looks like a bit that's been flicked out of that one's teeth. So this is beautiful. This is big and beautiful. So what have we got here? 99 Blue Team, a Ford Racing Team, Fastenal, and we got sponsors on the back there. Subway, Aflac, Frosted Flakes, Cheez-Its. I think this is an accurate reproduction. This isn't fantasy. I think this is actual. Looks like, yeah, the tail comes down. So you'd have no problem putting a lot of 164 in the back there, but this is absolutely giant. Mike Dyson, you like that? Big Charlie? I know you're a lorryman, so I already took the liberty of looking at these and it doesn't really separate, or I don't want to force it. But again, that looks like the front of a Kenworth to me. These were so well wrapped with spacers in that, look, Johnny, the wing mirrors are intact. The exhaust stacks are all intact. This lorry weighs a ton. It is all die-cast metal. Trailers, obviously plastic. And yeah, I'm looking at that, you know, and I can't see any information on there as to who makes this. I really can't. It's made in China. Let's face it, everything's made in China. But no, I cannot glean any information off that. But all I do know is that cab, or the tractor unit, it weighs a ton. This is seriously big, seriously beautiful. There we go. I don't even think we need Dyson Vision for that. But that is stunning. Accurate wheels. Beautiful sleeper cab with that pod on the back again for proper long distance hauling. What a stunning piece. If anybody knows anything about that and the scale, then please let me know. And then we thought that one was nice. How about that one? Let's turn him and try and get him all in the shot there, more or less. I'll just move this back a little crudely. Oh, very crudely. There we go. Look at that. Exactly the same size as the last one. Another NASCAR. So it's all seems to be majority of, you know, NASCAR related. Johnny, these are treasures. You don't give these away, my friend. It's a very humbling experience. We've got Ford Racing, and we've got Superguard Racing. I've seen this logo before, Sitgo. I think I've got a NASCAR that goes with that. Beautiful. Let's have a look back end. Does that one come down? Ooh. He's a tough one. I think it does, but I don't want to force it. You can see where it goes, and that metal clip has got it good. Nice reed detail. Beautiful colour scheme. Beautiful colour scheme. And once again, an all metal casting. That's a more modern incantation. We have these over here, but they're made by Scania, that sort of shape. You don't see too many of them. Again, this is a conventional, not to be confused with a cab over. Again, thoughts on this please, Big Charlie? Mike Dyson. And we'll just give you a view on the other side. It's perfect. It's in such great condition. Again, both chrome stacks present. Both wing mirrors, great front end. That almost looks like a chili unit there to me. But because it's got two handles there, I'm saying that's a parts cupboard. But you see that in this country and you'd automatically think it was a chili unit. Let's turn it over, see what we've got on here. Ah, we have got some, and oh, right, that surprised me. It's a Hot Wheels. I didn't know Hot Wheels made anything this big, or, you know, they've certainly done a grand job on this one. And it's a Kenworth T2000. I say, due to the bull nose being rounded, I think that's a more modern lorry. But again, what a heck of a thing that is. And the same size as the last one. So that is crazy kind. They will be treasured. And for this part 2 of Johnny Roman's gift to me, I'd like to end on a high note. You might have seen it as the thumbnail. I know where and when this was gotten. And that is my first auto lift. We'll bring it in a bit actually. There we go, a 1968 Shelby Gt500 on the top. Stunning metallic red. Lovely receded hood. Classy white lines that don't overrule the piece. Lovely rail riders, chrome work. If you look at the both vehicles, they've both got lensed headlights. This one's still got the piece of plastic in to hold that Ford pickup in place. I'm saying Ford because I had the liberty of looking on the back and I can see that's Ford. But yeah, look at the details. Good grief. I mean, never mind the auto lift, which is metal, I hasten to add. When I see these on videos, I thought they were plastic. Maybe some are, maybe some aren't, but wow. Nice check plate on the floor there. Let's have a look from this side. Well, that is perfection. That is perfection in diecast. This is M2. And I know where Johnny got it from, and I know what he paid for it. And if you found out what he paid for it, you'd weep. I don't think I should say what he paid for it. Opening doors look. That's nice. Nice black cockpit. I don't think the bonnet opens on this one. It looks like it does, but it doesn't, because the hood opens up on the Ford pickup below. Beautiful black pickup. Don't know, you can see there's some red line tyres on there. That looks like it's got a jack underneath. But yeah, this is my first ever lift piece, and I'm not going to take it apart. That is a diorama all on its own, and the display. The weight of it is phenomenal because it's metal on metal. I say Rail Riders on both, and that is a piece to die for. That is die-cast perfection. I wouldn't change the colour scheme. I wouldn't change anything about it. Brilliant. So, that concludes part 2 of an absolutely crazy, crazy gift from a crazy guy, but a good guy. We know that one. And what a way to end part 2. I'm not going to say what's coming in part 3. There is a piece of die cast, and when I say a piece of die cast, I mean, oh my goodness. It's time this thing was displayed. And but it's NASCAR related. Part 3 will be NASCAR related, and there's one piece of die cast, but it'll take me 10 minutes to show you around it at the very least. What a substantial piece, what a beautiful piece, and what a rare piece. There was one more figure that Johnny put in the box, and so I'd like to end the video here with a great debt of gratitude to Johnny Roman and his family. What a lovely bunch of people. And just before I go, I'd like to remind you that if you're watching Johnny Roman's channel, that life doesn't start till after 316. There we go. Bit of a Stretch Armstrong, actually. And that's exactly what he is. But he kind of reminds me of Johnny's figure there, where everybody's heading and crowding towards the supper club. Give him a look if you never have. Entertainment's his middle name. So from Sol, you'll take care. And I'll be back with part 3 and a couple of challenges and the cracking party, and the itinerary list is building up. Everybody take care. Ta-da now.